Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for starters, I know you guys didn't think that I would end the month without giving y'all a story time, right? Did y'all really think that? Like, come on, not me. So as you guys can see from the title, we have a story time, and it's crazy because I don't know, and I don't know, y'all. Okay, so for starters, I have so many high school story times that it could sometimes get like my brain could get a little discombobulated, and I could sometimes, I don't know, like I will tell myself like, oh, I already told that story. Then I'll think about it and I'll be like, I never told that story, I'm tripping. And a lot of my story times kind of connect into other story times, and the fact that I never tell all my high school story times in order from which it happened, I just sometimes forget to tell certain story times. So I was supposed to been told this story, but I thought I told it, but when I went back and looked, I'm like, I never told this story time. So if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I am a I think I'm a story time teller. I don't know, bitch. I don't know what I am. Bitch, I just like talking. Like, bro, if you like talking, please start a YouTube channel. Bitch, I just like talking. If you like to talk, definitely start a YouTube channel. And if you like to listen to people talking, subscribe to my channel. So I'm gonna get straight into it. I don't want to ramble. And also, if you have been watching me but you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. And go ahead, stop what you're doing and give this video a thumbs up so you don't forget. So all right, y'all. So this story time took place when I first got to my high school, and if you guys are not new to my channel, then you guys know that I went to 2 different high schools, and you guys know that I ended up transferring to my second high school, where I graduated from. And when I transferred to my second high school, everybody hated your girl. Like, I was a menace. I was a menace. They hated me. Everyone at the school hated me for some unknown reason or whatnot. So we are about to get into this story time with this specific girl. We're gonna call her Mimi. I'm gonna give you guys a description to Mimi, and then I'm gonna get into it. So Mimi was this dark-skinned girl. She was an upperclassman. She was on the skinnier side. She wore glasses. She was one of them, like, I know somebody about to be like, what? She was one of them sexy reds. Like, you know how sexy red wears glasses, but like she's still very like sexy reddish. She was one of them. I'm not saying that she was like a hoe, or like, you know, I'm not saying sexy red's a hoe, but y'all know what I mean. I'm not saying she was a hoe or like she was out there. She wasn't like that, but like she had a sexy red type of aesthetic to her a little bit. Like, she wore glasses, but she wasn't like your typical girl that wore glasses, right? And everybody around the school basically said that she knew how to fight. Like, everyone said that she knew how to fight, and she was known for getting out there with anybody. And she was also on the popular side of the school. Like, a lot of people were cool with her. So it's not like she used to fight everyone, or, you know, she was always in drama. No, like, she was actually one of the popular kids that everyone got along with. She was never scared to put her hands up, right? Mind you, at this time, I did not know this girl. I just got to the school. I think it's been like a month into me being at the school, right? And you guys already know, a lot of people did not like me. And if you guys don't know why, it's a long story. You gotta go watch my other videos and get caught up. You gotta go watch my other videos if you don't know why these people did not like me. One day, I had to use the restroom, and I ended up asking the teacher if I could go to the restroom. The teacher was like, yeah, you could go. So I ended up going to the restroom, and I ended up meeting Mimi in the hallway. Now, I did not know this girl. I did not know her from a can of paint, y'all. I didn't know nothing about her. This was my very first time seeing her in person. And you know, I just like polite people. Like, I really like it. I like people who speak and don't have to, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that if you don't speak, I have an issue, because I also like people who quiet and mind their business. But I really like people who speak even when they don't know you. So me and her, I was going to the restroom. I think I was coming back from the restroom. Yeah, I was coming back from the restroom, and she was like passing me up. And when she passed me up, she smiled and she said hi to me, and she was like, hi, like, you know, like just normal, like regular shit. Like, you see people, you speak. And I was like, oh, hey. And I asked her, I don't know, I just started talking to her. I like talking to people. My favorite first thing to ask is, how are you doing? Like, as soon as somebody greet me, right? I was like, you okay? How are you doing? She was like, I'm good, thank you. And that was that. Like, that was legit that. It was just a normal strangers saying hi to each other. That's it, right? Fast forward, let's say a couple of weeks later, I don't even remember. Like, when I tell you, I don't even remember where my fights would start on. I don't know. All I knew is that my fights always started on Twitter. Like, my fights always started on Twitter for some unknown reason. And y'all, like, all jokes aside, I know some people about to be like, okay, Irene, I'm so scared of Twitter now. Like, Like when I tell you, and Twitter has become worse. Twitter has become way worse than it was back in the days. Like, I mean, Twitter always been negative, but Twitter has become like 10 times more ruthless. People be talking shit on Twitter, and Twitter is full of haters. Twitter is full of like people just talking, you know what I mean? Just talking they shit. Bitch, I don't tweet on Twitter. Like, I don't tweet. Like, when I get, if you go through my Twitter, which my Twitter is in the description box, you can follow it, but it ain't no point of following me on Twitter because I'm not an active person on Twitter. I don't tweet my thoughts on Twitter. I don't give my opinions on Twitter. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the shit that happened to me when I was younger. I still feel traumatized from Twitter, so I just don't tweet. I just retweet things. I retweet funny things, and I get off the app, right? Back in the days, I don't know what happened. Something happened on Twitter that caused everybody in an uproar against me, and people were arguing with me, and people were fighting with me, and it was a lot, right? Like, those people fighting with me, I was seeing people that I've never spoken to before in my mentions, like favoriting people or taking sides with the people that I was fighting with. And in my head, I was just like, okay, like, and mind you, this is when I first got to the school. So I was used to people ganging up on me, but I wasn't used to people at the actual school ganging up on me. So I was able to put a face with, like, you know, the profile, like, oh, I see her in the hallway, or I'll be seeing him in the hallway. Like, you know, I'm putting faces together type shit. And in all honesty, I'm putting faces together so I could check bitches when we get to the school. I was never scared. Like, I was never scared, like, at all. Like, that just wasn't in my blood, in my heart. Like, I was never scared type shit. So then as I'm going through, the fight ends up dying down and everybody ends up going about their business, come across Mimi's page. So I was like, oh, like, that's the, and mind you, this wasn't like the same day. I think it was like the next day, right? And this was around the time, I think like 2 weeks prior, I had seen her in the hallway and we said hi to each other and all that good stuff. So in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is the girl from the hallway that I spoke to and I said hi to. Like, you know, let me go follow her, you know? So I went to go follow her. Y'all, let me tell you how childish these people at my high school were. This girl basically took like, I don't know, I think she started subbing me. And she basically was tweeting, talking about some, I'm not following you, bitch. You fight with everybody at the school. This hoe got the audacity to follow me. Why would she ever think that I would follow her? This, and that. I would never follow you back, bitch. You're a bum. Like, she just started talking mad shit about me. And I didn't even know that the girl was talking shit about me because I literally just followed her and clicked off her page. Like, I didn't go back to the girl's page to see if she followed me back. I just was looking like, oh, that's that girl from the hallway that spoke to me that was very nice a couple of weeks ago. Let me follow her. Like, I'm not thinking nothing of it, right? And then so somebody goes underneath, mind you, remember I told you guys, Mimi was very popular. Like, everybody at the school liked her. Like, she was very popular. So somebody went under her tweet and basically was like, LOL, Mimi, like, who you talking about? Oh, why did this girl at me? Bitch, I'm shocked. I'm bamboozled. I'm shocked. And you know the funny thing? Because when I tell these type of story times, people be like, you lying, you lying. You lying. And I don't even address people who do that shit no more nowadays. If you tell me that I'm lying about my life, I'm gonna block you because, bitch, I don't lie about none of my story time. I might leave some information out because, bitch, I might forget what happened. I might misconstrue information a little bit because I got bad memory and I'm trying to piece it. Like, even this story time that I'm telling you guys right now, I'm trying to really think about what happened because I don't really remember. It was a blur. To what I was saying, the girl ends up adding me on Twitter, and like you guys already know, everybody disliked me. So it was just like a moment of everyone restarting their bullshit again, and people weren't really like attacking me this time, but people were laughing at the fact that I followed her. And it kind of pissed me off because in my head I'm like, bitch, you're weird. Like, you was just in the hallways laughing with me, I mean, not laughing, but saying hi to me and stuff, and now all of a sudden you want to act like, you know, like you too good. And my thing is this: even if you don't want to follow me back on Twitter, that's cool, but you didn't need to tweet. Like, you didn't need to do all that, hun. You could have really just ignored the fact that I followed you. Eventually I would have peeped that you never followed me back, and that would have been that. I would have just unfollowed you. Like, it's that simple. Like, you didn't need to go tweet about how you would never follow me. Like, who the f are you? Like, you are not Queen Elizabeth. You bitch, you are, bitch, I don't even give a f about Queen Elizabeth, so I don't know who the are you. So it just was like weird to me that she was doing all that shit. And I added her and I said, girl, you're being mad weird. I said, me and you definitely like spoke in the hallways and I said hi to you before. That's the reason I followed you. I said, do not get beside yourself. Y'all, why did this girl lie and say she never spoke to me? She was like, this bitch is delusional. I've never spoken to her before. You're mad delusional. Bitch, you're not even in the same class as me. How can I speak to you? This bitch acted like, cause we're not even in the same class, that the schools are dissected by class. Like, bitch, everybody see everybody in the hallway. Bitch, if I'm going to the restroom and you going somewhere and we just so happen to be in the same hallway, I saw you. Like, what are you saying? So it just was weird. Like, it was mad weird. And of course, because this girl is popular, everybody's siding with her and people calling me crazy, people calling me delusional. Like, it was just weird. And I was so irritated because y'all, I'm like, oh my God, are we about to start fighting over this now? They just would find like any little thing to fight with me over. They would find like any little small thing to fight with me over, and it was mad annoying. But at this point now, I'm going back and forth with the girl on Twitter. I'm not really arguing with her for real. Like, I'm just like, you know, just telling her like she didn't need to tweet that. Like, that's just basically what I just kept telling her. I just kept telling her like, you didn't need to tweet that. Like, that was just so unnecessary. And she was basically telling me that I don't need to be fighting with everybody on Twitter, that's so unnecessary. In my head, I'm like, okay, maybe you have a point. Maybe I don't need to be fighting with everyone on Twitter. If you feel like I don't need to be fighting with everyone on Twitter, why the fuck are you opening grounds for me to fight with people on Twitter? Because you opening a whole portal knowing that everyone finna side with you. Everybody finna take your ugly ass side. Now I'm about to look like the dumb one. You know what I mean? So it just was weird. Like, it was mad weird. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And my friend ended up calling me and she basically was like, girl, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Like, what happened? I'm seeing what's going on Twitter. Now, this friend that I was friends with around this time, she was like cool with a lot of upperclassmen, and this girl was one of them people that knew everything. Like, she knew the tea about everybody. She always, like, she just was the one, you know, you ever had that one friend that knew about everyone's business, everyone's tea? Like, so she called me and she's like, I just want to let you know, like, Mimi, she fights. Basically the whole description that I gave you guys in the beginning is basically what my friend told me. And I'm looking at my friend like, bitch, I don't give a fuck if Mimi fight, bitch. I don't give a fuck if Mimi bark, but Mimi better stop. Cause bitch, I fight too. Bitch, I fight too. Don't call me on, like, I don't like when people do that. And I have another story time too of like this other girl trying to check me about this girl one time. Like, I got another story time about her too. I just don't like when people tell me, oh, she fight. Fuck, like, okay. Good for her. So like, what are we saying here? So yeah, and I told my friend that. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like, and if she get buck with me, like, we get buck wild type shit, I don't care. And she was like, I'm just letting you know. Like, she was like, I'm just letting you know. Like, she said, it's not, she said, I'm not trying to scare you or nothing. She said, I know you're not a punk. I'm just letting you know. Like, that girl's very like confrontational. So if she basically was telling me that if I see the girl at the school the next day, if I see her at the school and she like tries to confront me, just be prepared. Like, she was just saying she's just trying to prepare me that this girl's confrontational. And I'm like, okay, cool, like, that's cool. But like, the thing is, the people at this new school did not get, like, and a lot of people used to be like, dang, Irene was brave, Irene was arguing with everybody, Irene was, bro, what a lot of people at this new school did not get is that my old school was way worse. Like, my old school was in a hood type shit. People got it cracking. Like, a lot of people was in gangs, a lot of girls were in gangs. Like, people got it cracking. It was not no Twitter drama at my old school. If somebody got an issue with someone, everything get impressed in person, and we not talking for too long. We just gonna get to duking it out, and that's just gonna be that. Like, I've had friends that have literally got kicked out of my old high school for stabbing girls after fights. I'm coming from that, and I'm not saying that this school that I was at wasn't like a bad school too, but it wasn't on the level of the school that I came from. Now, my old high school now, that shit is terrible. I don't know what's going on there, but that shit is terrible. But back then, it just wasn't on that level because the principal that we had, she never let it get to that level. Very strict. But my old high school wasn't so strict. So whenever people would press me and stuff, it didn't scare me because I came from way worse, if you get what I mean. The next day we go to school or whatnot. I don't end up seeing her at all. I don't end up seeing her. I don't end up seeing nobody that was entertaining her on Twitter. And then on top of that, I want to add, I think my school had A and B lunch. I think my school had A, B, and C lunch. I think I had B lunch, and I think Mimi had C lunch. Keep that in mind. And I remember one guy coming up to me one time basically telling me that Mimi said she's gonna come to B lunch to beat my ass. One guy told me, like, one random ass upperclassman told me that one time when I was about to eat my food. Over here, bitch, I'm about to Bitch, I'm about to dig in. I'm about to dig in. Over here trying to eat my food and shit. We got this motherfucker over here telling me, oh, she gonna come to B-Lunch and beat your ass. I literally looked up at him and I said, and I would like to see her try. Like, don't do that. Like, that type of stuff makes me very angry. Like, don't do that. Like, if you want to do it, just do it. Like, Nike, don't do that. Like, don't send people to me. Like, that's just mad weird. So at this point now, I'm like anxious. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm not anxious. I'm looking over my shoulder, bitch. I'm looking down, bitch. I'm like, I can't even enjoy my food in peace because I don't want this hoe to come up behind me and beat the fuck out of me. Like, I don't want that to happen, right? For the rest of that day, she ends up not coming up, and it's just like in my head, I'm like, okay, what was the purpose of you saying that you was gonna beat my ass or whatnot, and you don't beat my ass? That weird. And then throughout the weeks, okay, so I told this story time. I don't know what I titled it. I told this story time about this girl that used to bully me, and fuck, I don't even remember her name. This story time was so long ago, but if you guys watched the story time, let me give you guys a refresher. Remember I told you guys about this upperclassman that bullied me one time, and then when she wanted to be a rapper, and when she was rapping one time, I don't know what my high school had going on, but my principal used to let like aspiring rappers come to the front on Friday and rap a song. This school is ghetto, y'all. And so she will always come to the front and she will always rap one of her songs, and everybody was cool with her. Like, this girl was cool. She was a stud. Everyone was cool with her. So every time she would come to the front, she would rap, people would be dick riding the fuck out of her. And she used to compare herself to J. Cole. I'm like, babe, you're not J. Cole. I'm not saying this girl was a terrible rapper, but this bitch was not J. Cole. Y'all, fun fact, if you guys don't know, J. Cole is my favorite rapper. So bitch, don't compare yourself to my motherfucking favorite rapper. I don't even like you, bitch. So she used to rap and stuff. And this girl was bullying me prior to like me seeing her on the stage rapping and shit like that. So one day when she was rapping, at one of our in one of our cafeteria days, I ended up making a song over her beat. Like, I was just talking shit about her. I was like, she's a bitch, da 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 da. And Chelsea ended up recording me and putting it in her story, which I don't even know to this day how we did not think we would get caught. Like, we go to school with these people that Chelsea is following. Somebody ended up like screen recorded Chelsea's story and sending it to her, and it caused like a whole uproar, right? So if you guys remember in that story time, you guys remember when we got to lunch, she ended up yelling at me, like basically saying she gonna beat my ass after school because she didn't want to fight me in school. Because if you guys don't know, my principal was very strict. You fight, you get kicked out. So most people fought outside of school. Around the time that that happened was around the same time that the situation with Mimi happened. Say the situation with the stud happened probably a week before the situation with Mimi happened. And that's okay. Y'all gotta bear with me. I haven't been to high school in over freaking 10 years, 12 years. It's been a minute. So it's like when I tell these story times, I'm like trying to remember what happened and dots are connecting. So let's backtrack. Okay, let's backtrack. So do you guys remember when I told you guys that I was arguing on Twitter and I don't know what I was arguing about? Now that I'm thinking about it, I was arguing on Twitter about that situation with the stud who felt some type of way, make that rap about her, right? Mind you guys, before people, because I know some people don't watch, I know some people are new to my channel, I know some people might be like, well, you started it. Let me keep this clearly in mind. This stud was bullying me way before I made that rap. Like, I remember I was walking home, this girl was throwing carrots at me from her car. I didn't even know this girl. So when I made that rap, bitch, it was beef. Like, I was doing that because it was beef, right? And then this is another thing that I left out that is very vital to the story time. Mimi and the stud were friends. Like, they were friends. Mind you, I did not know this, y'all. I'm new to the school. I don't know what's going on. Mimi and the stud were friends and I had no clue. So that made sense that when I followed her on Twitter, when I seen her Twitter, and I was like, oh my God, I think my camera is a cricket. Okay, there we go. So when I seen her Twitter and I was like, oh my God, like that's that girl from the hallway, and I followed her, I had no clue that this girl was friends with the stud, because when the whole situation with me arguing on Twitter was going on, she did not jump in, she did not say nothing, she didn't even retweet nothing. So I had no idea that this girl was friends with the stud. Oh, let's go back. So the day that the stud was yelling at me in the cafeteria, basically saying that she was gonna beat my ass and shit, and then she was saying stuff like she's heard about me around the school. She was saying that I'm a hoe and stuff, and she said I let so many upperclassmen fuck. Because y'all, I used to mess with upperclassmen. Upperclassmen just liked me, and I know somebody about to be like, they liked you because you were a hoe. That's probably the reason, bitch. I don't know. They just liked me. Like none of my mates, none of the guys in my class was really fucking with me like that. I would probably think only like Stanley and I don't know if you guys remember the story time with this other guy was fucking with me, but majority of the guys that I dated in high school were all upperclassmen. None of my classmates were really fucking with your girl for real. So and mind you, the stud, she was an upperclassman too, and I'm pretty sure the upperclassmen were talking about me. She basically was calling me a hoe, basically saying, and mind you, I'm talking about upperclassmen such as they're in 12th grade, I'm in 10th grade, and she basically was saying I'm a hoe because I'm sleeping around with upperclassmen. And I just, in my honest opinion, didn't feel like that. Like I didn't care. And then she was saying that like my pussy is loose, like she's heard that my pussy is loose. I'm like, okay, whatever nigga told you that is a lie, because my shit ain't loose. Like bro, my shit is not loose. Like even to this day, bitch, pussy still tight. What is you talking about? Like my shit not loose. So she was just talking shit, right? So when she was talking shit, mind you, this was the day that I ended up seeing Mimi. Mimi was in the cafeteria too, and Mimi was basically saying like making like a noise like that, like and I'm just looking like, okay, you laughing at type shit. Mind you, this is the first day that I have seen Mimi since the incident on Twitter happened where she said she's not gonna follow me and all this shit. This is the first time that I've seen her, right? So I'm seeing Mimi laughing, and I'm not really paying Mimi mind because the main person who was really like that I was arguing with was the stud at the time. So even though Mimi was in the background laughing and making little comments, I'm not really paying her no mind, because the main person I'm arguing with at the moment is the stud, if you get what I mean. So when the stud is saying like, oh, your pussy loose and da da da, I'm like, oh, and bitch, I'm arguing right back. I'm not even mad. She mad. She yelling at me and shit. Bitch, I'm laughing. I'm like, and I said, go ahead and call the nigga that said my pussy is loose. Like I had to tell her straight up, go call the boy who said my shit loose, because I want to talk to him. Like, bitch, you can put your finger up my shit, you gonna feel walls. Bitch, my shit not loose. That happened, right? So when I got so they ended up leaving or whatnot. They ended up leaving. I think no, not leaving. I think that's the day that I got into it with her, and then we went to the front of the cafeteria and I tried to fight her, and then I got suspended, right? So I ended up getting suspended. So then when I got suspended, everybody was talking shit. Remember I told you guys they were on Twitter, they were talking shit and all this stuff. Mimi ends up tweeting something about me as well, basically saying that when I come back to school, she gonna beat my ass. And I ended up tweeting back to her and I said, bet bitch, I would like to see you try. Because it's like, I was trying to be not cordial, but I was trying to just let the situation with Mimi simmer down, because the situation with Mimi was not a big situation, y'all. It was a very it just wasn't a situation compared to the situation that I had with the stud. And I was having so many fights and arguments with so many people. I did not want to be beefing with the whole entire school and fuck around and get jumped. You know, that's what it was looking like. It was looking like I'm gonna fuck around and get jumped one day, like everybody. So the situation, I wasn't really focused on Mimi, but it's like, you over here threatening, talking about that you gonna beat my ass when I come back to school. Remember I told you guys I got suspended. Bitch, I would like to see you try. It's not happening type shit, because now I'm really for the fight. And people's like, yeah, you need to whoop her, this and that. All I told the girl is, I would like to see you try. So I come back from suspension. Everybody's looking at me as usual. Everyone is looking at me. I end up going to lunch that day, right? And I'm not even eating. I already know what time it is. I'm not even eating, because this guy from last week told me that Mimi said she's gonna come to B lunch and she's gonna fight me. But bitch, I don't want to eat, because bitch, I'm ready for war type shit. Even when I was at lunch that day, I'm looking all over the place for this girl. And then towards the ending of the lunch period, she ends up coming to B lunch. I see her walking down the hallway to come to B lunch. And so at this point, I don't stand up or nothing. I don't do nothing like weird. I just end up watching her, because I don't want to make a scene, because the principal is like, you know, down there like watching everybody, so I don't end up standing up, but I just end up seeing her. And I tell my friends, I'm like, look at Mimi, like, mind you, this girl does not have B lunch, so I don't know why she's walking up here, right? She ends up walking, and she ends up walking to her friends, to the table with her friends, where that boy was, the boy who came up to me and told me that she was gonna fight me. She ends up going to that table and talking to them for a little bit. So at this point, I'm just watching her. Mind you, like, my table is here, their table is like way up there, so I'm just watching her from across the room. Like, they're a good distance from us. So she's talking and shit, and she's like, you know, talking and conversing with them or whatnot, and you can see everybody's like looking back at my table. So I already know what time it is, right? So she ends up walking all the way towards me, and she ends up saying hi to me, and I'm looking like, bitch, don't say hi to me, like, the fuck, like, don't fucking say hi to me. So she's like, hey, and I'm like, what's up, like, what's up type shit. And she's like, she's like, so, I don't know what she said to me. Y'all. And I tell you, when I'm about to fight, like, I just tune everything out. Like, I mentally tune everything out. She was talking to me, and then she just got quiet. Mind you, people are, like, legit, like, standing behind her. Not a whole bunch of people, but a couple of her friends are standing behind her looking at me like this. So she's talking to me, mind you, she's standing up, I'm sitting down. She's talking to me, but she's not too close to me. Like, if she would have came a little closer, bitch, I would have stood up. But she's talking to me, and then she just goes silent, and then she's like, so what do you have to say? Y'all already know how I feel. I ain't never scared, and I always had 3 things to say before a fight. I told the bitch, I said, we could go to the bathroom, we could fight here, we could fight outside of school. I said, pick one, choose one. Like, I'm just not gonna be arguing with you about Twitter. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you're weird. You started beef with me for nothing. You wanna be follow. You wanna do monkey see, monkey do. Let's just fight at this point, because it's like you're doing a lot type shit. It's like, oh, so you wanna fight, huh? This can't be the girl that everybody said fight. You mean I wanna fight? You the one that been pressing me, saying that when you see me, we're gonna fight. What is this whole, oh, you want to fight, huh? Yeah, I want to fight. So then the principal ends up seeing us from afar. I guess she sees the fact that she's getting loud. I'm not really getting loud, but she's getting loud. So the principal ends up calling a monitor over there to come and look at us to see what's going on. So the monitor ends up going over there and is like, what's the issue? And she was just like, nothing. But like, the way she was saying nothing, the monitor knew she was capping. So the monitor ends up asking me, what's the issue? And I'm like, nothing. And then the monitor's like, So he ends up going back to the principal, and the principal basically ends up calling her and is like, Mimi, come here. So she was like, I'll be back, bitch. I'm like, okay. So her friends end up like leaving with her. So she ends up going down the hallway to the front of the cafeteria to talk to the principal. I don't know what she's talking to the principal about, but basically, I know for a given fact the principal was cool with her. So the principal was probably asking her what the fuck was she doing in that lunch period. I don't know what happened, but I end up seeing her leave the lunch period, like, and she looks irritated, y'all. Like, when I say irritated, she looks irritated, and she basically ends up saying something along the lines to me of, you got away with it today, but bitch, I'll be back. Come back. Come back. When she said that, I was just like, like, I didn't even say nothing, because in my head, I'm just like, bro, shut up. Like, you're weird. Shut up. He ends up leaving, and my friends, we're just talking about it. Their table keeps looking over at us. I'm looking back at them like, what? And it's just a lot, right? So a couple of days later, principal ends up not coming to school. Or I don't know if the principal didn't come to school or what, but the principal wasn't in the cafeteria that day. Like, she wasn't there that day. She ends up not coming to school that day. Why do I see Mimi come into the cafeteria again? And it's like, at this point, it's like, you're not gonna punk me. Like, you just not gonna punk me. Y'all already know lunch is probably one of the best places where you have fun at school. One of the, like, now I feel like I can't even have fun at lunch because I'm looking over my shoulder just in case a bitch come and bop me upside my head type shit. It just was annoying at this point. So she comes and she ends up going to her friend's table. They're doing the same shit. They're looking back at me. And shit like that. And it's honestly irritating me, because in my head, I'm just like, why the fuck do y'all keep looking over here? I've been told this girl, do you want to fight in the restroom? Do you want to fight here? Or do you want to fight after school? Like, you pick your choice type shit. She ends up coming to the table. This time when she came to the table, y'all, I was not having it. I was not having it. So as soon as she came to the table, I got up. I said, come on, let's go to the restroom. Because I was hearing stuff about, oh, if you fight, you get kicked out. And I guess she didn't want to get kicked out because she was a senior at this time. So that's what people were telling me. That's why she didn't fight me. Because people were telling me, oh, she said that's why she didn't fight me. So I said, come on, let's go to the restroom. So she's like, what? I'm like, come on, let's go to the restroom type shit. Like, I'm not about to keep playing this game with you. You keep coming to lunch to want to fight me. And basically everything I'm telling y'all is what I told her, and I got loud with it. I was like, you keep coming to lunch. Like, at this point, I'm pissed. Like, stop. Like, you're a weird bitch. Like, you're a weird ass follow ass bitch. I never did anything to you. I do not know you. Like, get off my dick. You want to suck it. I said, you're a weird bitch. Like, I'm just screaming, y'all. So she starts getting loud, like, bitch, you better tone your voice down. I said, bitch, I said what I said. I said what I said. So at this point, my friends are holding me back. Her friends are holding her back. Like, I'm trying to get loose, and I'm like, come on, let's go to the restroom. Come on. So the monitors get over there, and they come in, they talking to us. They're like, what's going on? So when the monitors came, they were able, one of the guys, he was able to plant himself right in between me and Mimi. And so at this point, my friends let me go. So I start walking towards the restroom because, bitch, I said what I said since you want to fight so bad. So this bitch is laughing. Mind you, she's like, look at her. She look a fool. Look at her walking to the restroom. Bitch, ain't nobody coming to the restroom with you. Bitch, what, you want to touch me in the restroom? Like, she starts accusing me of being gay. She's like, bitch, what, you want to touch me in the restroom? That's why you want me there, huh? You nasty pussy bitch. That's why you want me there, huh? And it's just making me so angry because I'm like, bitch, you're weird. Like, you are a pure weirdo. You keep telling everybody you're gonna fight me. You keep telling everyone that when you see me, it's up and all this shit. But I'm literally giving you the green light for us to go to the restroom and duke it out and get over the situation. And now you want to make jokes and shit. And mind you, when she talking, everybody is sitting there laughing. I'm looking like ain't shit that she's saying is funny. Nothing that this girl is saying is funny, because this girl looks mad stupid type shit talking anyhow like that. And so at this point, the monitor ends up asking her what's going on. At this point, I don't even care. Like, I just walk straight to the restroom. Bitch, I walk to the restroom and I just wait. And I know some people about to be like, you're childish. I don't care. I walk to the restroom and I wait. And I just tell, I told her, I said, I'll be in the restroom when you're ready. I'm not going to continue to do this talking with you type shit. So I end up waiting in the restroom for 5 minutes. Ain't nobody came in. At this point in time, lunch is over. Everybody like damn near left. So my friends, they're still waiting around and shit like that. And at this point, Mimi left too. I did not see Mimi no more. None of us got in trouble. Like, none of us got in trouble or nothing like that. I'm pretty sure we didn't get in trouble because the principal wasn't there. Because if the principal was there that day, I know I would have got suspended or sent to lunch detention or sent to ISS. I know something would have gave, right? So my friends is like basically telling me to calm down and stuff, and I'm just irritated because I know, like, she keeps trying to punk me. This girl really keeps coming to this cafeteria to punk me. You don't have B lunch. In my honest opinion, she should get, if anything would have happened to where we got in trouble or anything, it should have been her, because you're coming to a lunch that you don't have this lunch. Coming to somebody's lunch to punk them. You should be in trouble. You should be in class. And it was just weird, y'all. So later on that day on Twitter, she was talking her shit. I was talking my shit right back. And I told her straight up, I said, like I told you before, like I told you and everybody else that got an issue with me, you can fight either after school. We can set up an after school fight. We can set up a lunch fight. Or we can set up a restroom fight. It's whatever you want to do. And I told her straight up, I said, if you ain't trying to do none of that, I'm not trying to hear from you no more. I don't care. And so we argued a little bit more that night, and then that was that. I never saw this girl go to my B lunch after that. I never saw her go to my B lunch after that. I did not see this girl in the hallway for like another month and a half straight. I don't know what it was, but I never seen, first of all, I never really seen this girl like that, to be honest, other than that time that I seen her when I was walking to the restroom or coming from the restroom. I never really seen this girl like that. And then the fact that she lied and told people that she's never spoken to me before was very annoying, because it's like, girl, yes you have. Like, you've said hi to me before. You spoke first, bitch. I don't speak first for the most part. I'll smile at somebody, at a stranger, but I don't speak to strangers first at all. Like, barely. If I speak to a stranger first, like, maybe the girl is pretty and I think the girl is pretty, so I might tell her like, oh my god, you're really pretty. But like, this girl wasn't pretty for me to even say that. Like, she wasn't ugly, but she wasn't pretty either. So I know for a given fact that I never spoke to this girl first. So after that, the situation kind of just died down. I ended up seeing her in the hallway like a month after the whole situation happened. She tried to like do like a chuckle. She was like Bitch, I said back. The fuck? Like, bitch, just like how you know how to go bitch, I can go back. Like, what are you saying? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So it's like, I said right back, and she rolled her eyes and walked off. And that was that. Now, when I used to get into it with people on Twitter, she would try to add her little input. She would try to say little slick things. But I know one thing. Like, if you bug, if you bug. Now, let me stop. I know one thing. The bitch ain't never pressed me. The bitch ain't never pressed me. And at that time, I just started feeling like the big dog. I don't give I don't care what nobody say. I just started feeling like the big dog. And the reason why I started feeling like the big dog is because this can't be the bitch that everybody say can fight. This can't be the bitch that everybody say press everyone. Throughout the year, I would end up seeing her later on in the hallway. We didn't really talk to each other. She didn't look at me. I didn't look at her. We would just, you know, pass by each other. And then sure enough, she just left me alone, I guess. And it was just weird. Like, the whole situation was just weird to me. And to me, it just gave off the vibe that you were nice to me until you found out that your friends didn't like me. And then you lied and you made it seem like you never spoke to me before. And it was just weird. And I know some people in the comments are about to say, girl, she's not obligated to be cool with you. Her friends didn't like you. I understand that. But in my honest opinion, if it was me and the girl followed me on Twitter, I just would have not followed her back. I just would have ignored her. But to go tweeting and doing all that extra shit and saying you want to fight me and all that stuff, you're doing a lot. Like, you're doing a lot. You're showing how childish you are. I love you guys so much. If you guys like this story time, give me a thumbs up. And also, as I always say in all my story times, I want to know y'all's opinions. I want to know how y'all feel. Do y'all feel like I was in the wrong? Do you guys feel like she was in the wrong? Do you guys feel like both of us was in the wrong? I want to know you guys' opinion about the whole story. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And my next story time is probably going to be me fighting, because I tell a lot of story times with me about to fight, but I got into like a fight. This one is at my old high school. Y'all let me know if y'all want that. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.